Most people lose half of what they just learned in the 10 minutes right after they stop. Not because they studied wrong, not because their memory is bad, because of what they do the moment the session ends. Today, I'm going to show you what that is, and the one small shift that locks everything in permanently. This is episode 5 of 6. Let's get into it. You know that feeling when you finish something? A study session, a practice run, a tutorial you just worked through, and the moment it ends, you immediately pick up your phone. Switch on something, jump straight to the next thing on the list. Not because you plan to, just because that's what you always do. That gap, that tiny window right after learning ends, is the most valuable moment of your entire session, and almost everyone wastes it without realizing. Here's the honest version of what happens. You put in real effort, you were focused, you got through the material, and the next morning you try to recall it. And it's patchy, blurry. Half of it feels like it was never really there, and that quiet frustration starts to build. The kind that makes you wonder if you're just not the type of person who retains things easily. That feeling isn't about your memory. It's about those 10 minutes after you stopped. Here's the simplest way to understand what's going on. When you learn something, your brain doesn't file it away the moment you understand it. It needs a window of quiet to finish the job. Think of it like sending a message with bad signal. You hit send. The message starts uploading, but before it finishes, you walk into a tunnel. Connection drops, message fails. You did everything right, but the delivery never completed. That's what happens when you jump straight from learning into something noisy. A notification, a conversation, a new task. The learning was there, it was uploading. You walked into a tunnel, and it never finished sending. Here's where it gets personal. That shower moment, where a solution you couldn't figure out yesterday just appears in your mind from nowhere? That's not random. That's your brain finishing a job you started earlier. Once the noise finally cleared long enough for it to complete. That morning feeling where a skill you struggled with yesterday suddenly feels easier. Same thing, your brain was working on it the whole time. It just needed quiet to get there. Rest isn't separate from learning. It's the final step, the one most people skip every single time. And here's the part that stings a little. Every time you jump straight from a session into something else, you're not just losing that one thing you studied, you're leaving every session slightly unfinished, week after week, month after month, learning things halfway, retaining pieces instead of wholes, and slowly building the belief that you're just not someone who picks things up quickly. But that was never true. You just never gave your brain the 10 minutes it needed to close the loop. So here's how to fix it starting today. When your learning session ends, do nothing for 10 minutes. No phone, no music, no TV, no conversation. Just sit. Let your mind drift wherever it wants. Don't try to review what you learned. Don't force anything. Your brain already knows what to do with the quiet. Let it work. 10 minutes, that's the whole hack. And when you stack this on everything from the earlier episodes, you chunk the skill. You recall it right after. You lock your focus. You time it to your sharpest window. Then you give it 10 quiet minutes to finish saving. That's a complete session. Nothing wasted. Nothing left half uploaded. Everything going exactly where it needs to go. One episode left. Episode 6 is the one that ties everything together, but it also introduces the final hack. The one that stops people from plateauing even when they're doing everything else right. Because you can chunk, recall, focus, time it, and rest after, and still hit a wall. There's one last hidden block that quietly keeps people stuck at the same level no matter how hard they work. Episode 6 names it, and breaks through it. If you got value from this video, subscribe. Because that final episode is the difference between someone who improves for a while and someone who never stops.